Welcome back to another episode of DAS with your host Shawn Mac, and today we're going to be discussing two NBA players, Drazen Petrovic and Bobby Fields, who both passed away too soon from fatal car crashes. So if you like today's content, make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the video. So let's go. Drazen Petrovic, born October 22, 1964 and fatally left this world June 7, 1993, played shooting guard. He was a bad mother, watch your mouth. He initially achieved success playing professional basketball in Europe in the 80s with Sabona and Real Madrid before joining the NBA in 1989. Drazen was drafted in 1986 in the third round with the 60th overall pick to the Portland Trail Blazers, but as a lot of European players do, he didn't come over to the States until 3 years later, where he played in Portland from 1989 to 1991. In 1991, he was traded to the New Jersey Nets, where he played there until his untimely demise in 1993. Now, let's take a deeper dive into the fatal crash of Drazen Petrovic. In the summer of 1993, after his best NBA season and the Nets' first-round elimination by the Cleveland Cavaliers, Petrovic traveled to Wrocław, where the Croatian national team was playing a qualification tournament for the 1993 Eurobasket. Actually, Petrovic at that time was contemplating a departure from the Nets. Disappointed with the fact that the Nets had not extended his contract, he told the American reporters that the lack of recognition in the league made him also consider leaving the NBA completely and playing basketball in Greece. There were at least two Greek clubs ready to offer Petrovic a 3-year contract worth $7.7 million, but this next decision would cost him his life. Petrovic decided to skip the connecting flight back to Zagreb from Frankfurt and instead drive to Zagreb with a woman he was romantically involved with at the time. He had only met her a few weeks prior after a game at the Meadowlands Arena in New Jersey. Petrovic died in a traffic accident at about 5:20 p.m. on June 7 of 1993 on the rain-drenched Autobahn 9. He was a passenger in a car that was cut off by a semi-truck in Dinkendorf in the German state of Bavaria. According to the police report, that afternoon a truck broke through the Autobahn medium. The driver was trying to avoid a collision with another car and lost control of his truck, crashing through the medium barrier and finally coming to a stop and blocking all 3 lanes of traffic going in the opposite direction. Just seconds later, a Volkswagen Golf carrying a sleeping Petrovic in the passenger seat crashed into the truck, and Petrovic was ejected from the vehicle. According to the autopsy report, Petrovic died of several head injuries on impact. The driver, Clara, a Hungarian model and basketball player with whom Petrovic was romantically involved, and Hailey, a female Turkish basketball player, sustained serious injuries. It was established that visibility on the road was very poor that day, and neither Petrovic nor Hailey wore their seat belts. According to Hailey, who incurred several memory losses as a result to the accident and would never play basketball again, Clara was driving at about 110 miles per hour, which was legal on the Autobahn. Clara would return to modeling and basketball not long after the accident. Bobby Ray Fields Jr., born December 20, 1969 and tragically left this world January 12, 2000. A native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Fields attended Baton Rouge's Southern University. He was a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha. He was selected by the Milwaukee Bucks in the 1991 NBA Draft, 45th overall. Now, let's take a deeper dive into the fatal crash of Bobby Fields. This article is from ESPN, January 16, Sunday, 2000. Investigators believe Bobby Fields of the Charlotte Hornets was racing with a teammate David Wesley at more than 75 miles per hour when Phil lost control of his 1997 Porsche, skidded into oncoming traffic, and was killed. Quote, "It looks like they were drag racing. which is legally defined as spontaneous speed competition, Charlotte-Mecklenburg's police spokesman Keith Bridges said on Thursday the speed limit where Phil wrecked was 45 miles per hour. Phils, who was 30 years old at the time of the crash, was leaving a team practice at the Charlotte Coliseum about 11 a.m. Wednesday when he lost control of his car less than a mile from the arena. Police said his car collided head-on with a vehicle headed to the arena. Phils was killed instantly. A minivan rear-ended the other car, police said. Listed in stable condition at Presbyterian Hospital were Robert Woolard, 31, the driver of the other car, and Yao, 33, of Charlotte, was driving a minivan taxi, Bridges said. No charges have been filed against Wesley, who was driving a 1997 Porsche that wasn't involved in the crash. Wesley, the Hornets starting point guard, had refused to talk to police, Bridges said. He stated any charges must await completion of the crash investigation, probably sometime next week. Due to note, Wesley would go on to be charged with reckless driving later that year. Both Phils and Wesley have been charged with speeding in the past, according to the Charlotte's Observer. In February, Phils was charged with driving 60 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone on Main Street in Pineville, North Carolina. Wesley was charged twice with speeding, according to Mecklenburg County court records. In October of 1997, he was charged with driving 60 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. He paid $80 in court costs, according to court records. In December of 1998, Wesley was charged with driving 79 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone on the interstate. He paid $80 in court costs and successfully completed the National Safety Council defensive driving course 6 days after he was charged, according to court records. Stunned and tearful teammates and Hornets officials gathered at the accident scene. Minutes earlier, Phil and other players had been practicing for Wednesday's night game with the Chicago Bulls, and the game was postponed. The police crash investigator said Phil's lost control of his Porsche on a hilly curb where the posted speed limit was 45 miles per hour. Quote, the skid marks indicate he was not going in a straight line, end quote. Bridges stated Phil's 1997 convertible with the vanity plate slamming left skid marks several hundred feet long and came to rest in one of the opposite lanes. Quote, this is the untimely tragedy, and our immediate thoughts and prayers are with his wife Kendall and children and family. Hornets owner George Shen said in a statement, quote, not only was Bobby a tremendous person, but a great husband, father, and role model for his kids. He was someone you would like your children to be like, end quote. He joined the Hornets in 1997 after 6 years with Cleveland and was in the third year of his 7-year contract worth $33 million. Phils averaged 10.9 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 2.7 assists for his career. He was fourth on the team in scoring this season. He was also active in the community. Phils volunteered for children's charities and related organizations. In 1998, he was one of 4 finalists for the NBA Sportsmanship Award and started the Bobby Phils Educational Foundation. Bobby Phils was survived by his 2 kids and wife, Kendall, and 2 kids, Bobby Ray III and Kirsty. Rest in peace, big dog. Thanks for watching. I've been your host, Shawn Mac. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like the content. And on another note, I actually have a personal connection with the Bobby Phils incident. My first cousin, Eldridge Rakasner, was actually playing for the Hornets and was at practice that day. I spoke to him not too long after about that situation. He was real distraught and felt real bad for Bobby. They were pretty close. And as for Drazen Petrovic, me and my brother C. Anthony grew up loving Drazen Petrovic. We loved his energy. We thought it was funny the way that he ran. He had this energy about him like he was a kid, but he would never stop moving on the floor, and we thought that was extremely funny. So once again, thanks for watching Death After Sports. Drazen Petrovic and Bobby Phil.